Hi there, I am Lisa and I designed for Coco Daisy, and today I am playing with my October kit. I've laid out some bits and pieces here. I've already made a few projects using this kit, so it's starting to be a little bit cut into like this and like this. But I've still got lots and lots left to play with. You do always get rather a lot in your kit, and not only have I got the main kit here, I'm also playing with the smaller pocket memory keeping kit as well. I have laid out some pieces here, as you can see. I've kind of given myself a rough idea of what I'm doing. Sometimes I like to do that before I print off my photos. So I laid out some bits and pieces just to kind of give me a feel of how the page is going to come along, and that then actually inspired the photos I was going to use. So I've got a bit of a natural theme here going on, quite relaxing, so I decided to go with a couple of fishing photos. This was a fishing trip that we did whilst we were staying at Disney. I'll tell you a little bit about that in a moment. So I am going to start sticking down. I've got the 12 by 12 Coco Daisy paper here. I will end up trimming this edge bit off, but I don't need to do that at the moment. And I'm going to start by sticking things down. And I wanted to use this as a tab top. If you notice, I don't stick completely down to the ends, so it does give me space to layer up. That will go nicely under there. I always like to keep my spare bits and pieces as well, because you never know when you will need them. So did I do that like that before? I think so. I've got a screaming teenager upstairs. I'm really sorry if you can hear it. I don't think you would be able to hear it. Thankfully it's of the laughing kind and not of the angry kind, which makes quite a nice change, I have to say. So I've got this calendar one here. Sorry, he's on the PlayStation with his friends, so that's what all the screaming and laughter is about. So I'm going to pop that in there. I'm just trying to remember what day of the week it was that we went. It was a Wednesday, so I can circle the Wednesday. I like the colours there. I think that looks really pretty. And I'm using the glassine envelope bag that came in the kit purely as part of the packaging. It held the little journal cards in my memory pocket page. I'm not going to secure that down. I may actually use that as a pocket, so for the time being that's going to stay like that. I may find something to secure that down with in a bit, but for now that can stay like that. I'm going to use this journal card to pop under there. It says there, if you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. That's meaning the resort where we were. I'm going to pop that underneath actually. We was at the Disney Port Orleans resort. We took a boat from Disney Springs over to Riverside to do the fishing. It was such a lovely morning, really relaxing and peaceful. There we go. So layering those up. I kind of needed a little bit of colour between these two here, so the white tag does that for me perfectly. That works really well. And I'm wanting to use, there's always little hello cards included within the kit, so I'm using that as my title today. I thought it's a little bit different and quite fun. And I'm going to stick that on the bottom. I'm not going to stick the top because I haven't decided yet if I'm using that as a pocket or not. And that's going to sit down there. Lots of layering up on this page. I'm going to centralize that. And then I was going to use the little, that's not a photo, that's the photo here of the fishing hole where we were. So it was just such a cute place and just so quiet. It's one of those little areas. When you're in Disney, it's obviously really busy, but you find certain little places where you can go and it's just really quiet and really nice. I'm wondering whether to cut around that to pop that down there. I don't know. I don't want to cut it out and then not need it. I quite like it like that. I'm going to go for it. Let's use some smaller scissors. And I do like to leave an edge when I cut out. So I'm going to cut around and see what it looks like. Sometimes I think you've got to try things. It may work, it may not work. I've decided I like it. so it frames that quite nicely. So I'm going to add some tape and place this on the base like that. Actually, I wanted that to cover the card. I don't want to see the ends. It's better. And I also cut this out as well, so I'm deciding now where this should go. I might pop it there. We'll use some foam tape for this one. Deciding which box set we should watch tonight. We don't seem to watch TV anymore like we used to. It's all about box sets. We've come to the end of a couple recently, and we're needing to find some new ones, I think. I think that looks quite nice like that. So that's that. Now, what do I do next? I am going to grab a stencil, I think. I've got an old stencil here. I believe this is a Crafter's Workshop stencil. I may be wrong, but it looks like my others that are. And I'm just going to use, oh, I've seen my blue palettes. These are so old now. I'm going to use a mix of blues and greens. I do love a circle when I create. I'm just going to mix in the colours. Bubbles as it's fishing made me think of bubbles rather than circles around the water. I'll do a few more. Quite like adding little pops of colour when I'm creating. I like the difference actually between the blues and the greens. And I might do a few down here. I have a thing about symmetry. When I do something one place, I like to repeat it in another. I think I'll leave it at that for now. I also need to trim the bottom off there, and I was going to fussy cut a few of these birds out to add on the page as well. I have gone for 3 little birds. I've just popped one there, and I'm going to pop some foam tape on the back of these 2 and place these on here as well. And then I'm going to finish working on my title. I'm using this as part of my title as well. And I don't think I'm going to need these. I am going to use the stamps that came with the kit, and I'm also going to use the ink pad that came with the kit, as the colours go really well together. And I think I'm going to stamp out my title and cut it out to place on the bottom there. The little stamp set that comes with the kit is really nice. I've just used it. I've just cleaned it off with a baby wipe afterwards. But if you see, I bodged that one up, so I've done an extra one there. And I've just used the rest of the card that was on the base there. So that's what I'm using. And I'm just going to cut each one out individually to place along the bottom. So I've cut out the stamped letters and I've stuck them with a bit of PVA along the top. I found a couple of tabs in the Cocoa Daisy die cuts that I am going to stick in place. So this is Hello Port Orleans, which is the resort where we visited. We didn't stay here, we just visited for the morning. Took a little boat, and this says Another Day. I'm going to place this one here. Now I've decided I'm not using this as a pocket. I like it as it is, so I am going to add the tape at the back. I was going to add a circle around the photo, but to be honest, I think there's quite a lot going on there, so I might just leave it as it is. And I think that's the end of the layout. It was a really quick and easy one. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you've enjoyed the bit of fussy cutting and the stamping. It's been a really fun one to make, and I still need to decide what box set we're going to watch tonight. I'm going to have a discussion. I think with Aid, I'm going to go and make some ginger chicken udon for tea, and we'll decide there what we're going to watch. It's Friday night as I film this, and it's always nice to cozy up with something fun on TV. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you so much for joining me today, and please do leave me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this as well, and please do subscribe if you don't already. Thank you so much. Bye.